All right. How many email campaigns should your brand actually send every single month? I get it all the time from the many brand owners that I speak with on a weekly basis. So I want to walk through my framework, give you my thoughts, and give you kind of how we think about frequency and segmentation and making sure that you're sending the right amount of campaigns to the right people at the right time. So the biggest issue that I see is undersending. Most brands that I audit, they're not sending enough. Sometimes they're way over undersending and they're wondering why email is not driving as much revenue. They're seriously leaving a ton of revenue on the table. What we typically see in the accounts is that they're only sending a few emails per month. They're around the biggest promos, and it really trains the audience just to look for promo-based emails and buy off of those versus more content and brand building and storytelling emails that really can help drive sales without discounts. So we typically see emails driving well under 20% of total D2C revenue. Brand owners think that that's normal. It's definitely not. So, and especially the brands that are worried most about oversending are typically way undersending compared to competitors. Really, our target is that brands that we work with are driving at least 30% of their total D2C revenue from email marketing. We'll talk about what brands can actually achieve that number. Typically, anywhere from 8 to 16 campaigns per month is the sweet spot, as we mentioned here. Doesn't mean that every single subscriber gets every single campaign that you send out, not even close. And this is just total send volume. It's a great place to start, anywhere from 2 to 4 per week. So that's 8 to 16 campaigns per month across all different segments. Your VIPs might get anywhere from 2 to 3 per week. And then things like your win back segment, those might only get 1 to 2 emails per month. It's most important that you're thinking about segmentation in terms of different buckets versus sending every single message to every single person. So as we talk about here, a very simple way to do this is breaking it down into 3 different buckets. So you have your VIPs and your most engaged that might get 2 to 3 per week. You have your warm subscribers that might get 1 or 2 per week. And then you have your win back and your cold audience, which is maybe 1, 2, or 3 emails per month. So your win back and your cold audience, they're just going to get your biggest promotions, your win back offers. These are people that you don't want to send to very often. You want to protect your deliverability. Your warm subscribers, you can send them majority of your campaigns, but maybe not all of them. The goal is to kind of push them back into that VIP tier where that's your core, like most loyal audience. So these people are getting every single campaign, every drop, every content email. These are the people that are loving you and purchasing from you. And these are really your core audience that you're thinking about. So we want to mix it up. We want to make sure that we're thinking about it in terms of engagement tracks versus just blasting the entire list or just a few segments. So if you want me to take a look at your email setup, go through, run an audit of it, give you our best practices for list growth, flows, campaigns, deliverability, whole 9 yards, feel free, book a call at zhs-ecom.com. That's ZHS Ecom, and I'll take a look. So an example campaign calendar, let's say we're working with a 7-figure per month type brand that might be, they have the most room. They're making $5,000, $10,000 per campaign. So, we can do quite a bit of volume with them. Again, it doesn't mean that every single person is getting all 16 campaigns. As you can see in our segmentation, we have quite a bit of different groups that we're sending to. So an example campaign calendar for a brand like this might be total emails per month might be your core emails might be 5 promo emails plus 11 evergreen or nurture emails. With those promo emails, we're always sending, for those biggest promotions, we're resending to non-openers 1 or 2 times around your biggest promos. We're making sure that deliverability and everything is good, but you can mix that in. We're also doing quite a bit of plain text emails in there. So about 33% of those emails might actually be plain text. It's something that you have to split test within the account, see how it well performs. But typically, we're sending quite a few plain text emails as well alongside our regular designed ones. We're also sending a handful of SMS messages each month. So a person might get 1, 2, or 3 SMS around your biggest promotions and drops. And so within our campaign calendars, what we're looking at is kind of in this spreadsheet, we have the target send date, we have the send time. We want to know, is this an email, is this an SMS? What type of campaign is it? Is it an evergreen? Is it promotion? Is it nurturing, etc.? What's the actual name of the campaign? What's the description? What's the primary and secondary focus? What are those segments, not only that we're including, but also excluding? Is there an offer or a discount code that we need to think about? Is there a split test? Really, a majority of our emails that we're sending out, almost every single one is going to have a split test, except for more of your promo-based emails. And then we're also thinking about what SKUs are we focusing on? And then what is the actual CTA? Like, what's the landing page that we're driving to? So as you can see, this is a typical campaign calendar setup. For each client, we're going to have a campaign calendar. We'll have actual segments built out for each brand that are customized to each brand. And then we also have on a weekly basis reporting, on a monthly basis as well. We also want to keep in mind like campaign volume overall as it tracks throughout each month to make sure we're right sized there. And then we want to be testing those A/B split tests. So we want to make sure that's in our campaign calendar as well. So we learn, let's say from March, we get all those learnings from March campaigns. We can apply those to that next month. What also is really important is ROI. So if you put in $1, we want to be making back at least 5 to 10x what you put in. So when we're thinking about volume, we want to see like how big is the list? Are people converting on average when you look throughout the month? Like what's that average revenue per send? If you're making, let's say you spend $500 on a campaign in time, effort, and resources, but each campaign that you send on average, if you look across the entire month, if you average back $5,000, $10,000, that definitely means that you can be on the higher end. That tells us, hey, anywhere from 12, 16, or even more than that is definitely doable, especially when you have proper segmentation. However, if you're a brand that you're only making $500 a send, $1,000 per send, doesn't really make sense to go crazy on all these different campaigns. So I would focus on 1 to 2 cents per week. Utilize your resources internally, use plain text emails, use a couple templates, keep it lighter. 6 to 8 per month is a really great place to start. If you're significantly below that, if you're below $500 per send, I mean, even 1 per week is just, as you're building up your list, is a good place to keep things. So I think of kind of on the low end, 1 or 2, or I'd say low end will be 4 to 8 emails per month. Medium would be 8 to 12. Higher end would be 16 to 20 plus. A lot of issues come with burning out the list. So that's a big thing that brand owners come to me and they say, hey, Zach, like, sounds great. It sounds like we would get an ROI, but I don't want to burn out the list. Definitely understand what brand owners are coming to me with that objection. However, I would, if I were you, I would look at brands like, or I'd look at websites like milled.com. That's milled.com. You can take a look and you can kind of see what are other brands, what is their actual campaign cadence. You can look and see, for example, this guy right here, I know this particular brand, they're sending all the time. They're sending 3, 4, 5, 6 times per week. It's going to fluctuate up and down. I highly recommend that you look at your competitors, especially your top competitors that are really crushing it on D2C. Take a look at their email campaign cadence. This is a really great example. They're sending quite a few of these regular designed emails, but also they're layering in a ton of plain text emails as well. This website right here, Milled, is a great way to just see competitors within your industry, but also brands that are crushing it with outside of your industry as well. Definitely concerned burning out the list. However, this really happens when you're sending every single campaign to every single subscriber. When you do have the proper segmentation and the right frequency, you can take a look at those unsubscribe rates and you can make sure that you're not actually sending too much to the wrong segments. So doing the math here, what we look at is a few key things when we're looking at just revenue per send. So we're looking at, on average, how many subscribers are we actually sending to? What's the average campaigns per month? What's the place order rate on average? And what's that AOV? If you multiply these out, on average, how many people do you send to per campaign? How many per month are you sending to? What's that place order rate? On average, e-commerce is about 0.08%. So that's 8 per 1,000 recipients. Average order value, plug those numbers in and you can see what can your emails generate. And you can always use conservative numbers just to make sure that we're undershooting rather than overshooting. So this is a simple way to calculate what you could be doing. And in terms of frequency, we're thinking about starting with anywhere from 8, 12, or 16 campaigns per month across all different segments. We're thinking about engagement tracks. So we're looking at VIPs, warm subscribers, winbacks. Again, that's kind of 3 buckets there. We're layering in non-open or resends for your biggest promotions. adding 1 to 4 SMS messages per month to not the whole SMS list, but mostly just those engaged SMS subscribers. We're looking at open rates by segments, not just overall averages. When metrics dip, that means that you can just tighten the engagement window. So if you're getting way too high of unsubscribe rates within one of your engagement tracks, you can drop it from 90 to engaged down to 60, down to 30. We're also mixing in plain text emails. Those tend to really, really perform well. And we're making sure that not every single person is getting every single email. Again, we're thinking about those 3 buckets as a starting place. We're getting the engagement tracks right first. And really, with each brand that we work with, we're taking a very customized approach to make sure that we're thinking about what the actual end user is receiving. Ideally, they're going through, they're abandoning carts, they're abandoning checkouts, they're looking at your products. So they're also getting into all of your other flows as well. So if email is under 20% of your revenue, definitely I would look at campaign frequency. Stop sending every single email to your entire list. That's a huge no-no within email marketing. We want to be thinking about proper segmentation and engagement tracks. So if you want me to take a look at your email marketing setup, feel free. Find a time to chat at zhs-ecom. It's just this website right here, zhs-ecom.com. Feel free, apply to work with us, and appreciate your time.